The state.
I thought we had.
Who is the prosecutor for state on Eric Kelly? Eric Kelly?
Not know, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Behrens, just give us a moment. If you'll talk with Mr. Edelman. Just have a seat. We'll get with you. All right, could I have a prosecutor for Dennis Paul Pellegrini, please? All right, on this case, it's on page 1. And I know of late, sometimes when the cases are indicted, something's been happening weird with Odyssey. So what I'm going to do, Norma, if you can reach out to Miss Gail Calderalo and state if you have no objections, I'm just going to recall it.
No objections.
All right, so Miss Ferguson, let's recall this for tomorrow and have Gail Colorado get in touch with her client and get in touch with the bondsman. All right. Sure, no problem. All right, who's here on Paul Padilla? Mr. Cox, okay. Who is here on Pettis? Dorothy Pettis? Ms. Pettis, if you come forward. Probation, this is an application. Could I have a prosecutor? Court is calling 2023 CR 0941, State of Texas versus Dorothy Pettis. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Andrew Harris, Salem.
Defense?
Patrick Lamas.
And are you Ms. Pettis?
Yes,
Counsel, have you received all of the discovery?
I have, Your Honor.
Did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Pettis, did you review the document entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision with your attorney?
Yes,
And did you sign it?
yes,
Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney?
yes,
Did you understand it?
yes,
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Pettis, did you review the document entitled Court Admonishments with your attorney?
Yes,
Did you understand it?
yes,
Did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Did you understand you're charged with possession of a
yes,
controlled substance, penalty group 1 less than 1 gram?
yes,
That's a state jail felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
yes,
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
yes,
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
yes,
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
yes,
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
yes,
You understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine.
yes.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
She has, Your Honor.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
I do,
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I do, Your Honor.
Ms. Pettis, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
No,
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
no,
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
yes,
Are you a U.S. citizen?
yes, I am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes,
According to the plea, there's a $1,500 fine. State recommends deferred adjudication, and there's to be restitution to SAPD for drug testing. Did you understand that to be the
Yes.
plea?
I do.
Defense, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes,
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
yes,
Counsel, are there any such motions?
no, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 2 years. There be a TAP evaluation and 150 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence.
50 containing and one in attachments, Your Honor.
We have no objections, Your Honor.
All right, state, you may be excused. You're welcome. Did you review the document entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations with your attorney?
Yes.
Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments. The court has reviewed the same. The court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, we just hope that you follow the plea bargain agreement. As for the fine, I know there's a $1,500 fine. My client doesn't have much income. She's planning on living at Haven for Hope after she's released from jail. So we'd ask that the court probate the fine, or part of the fine or the fine entirely.
All right. Do you have any children?
Yes, I have 5.
And what are their ages?
One's 8, 19. My youngest, just turned a year,
Okay, 19, 1 year, what else?
and then 14.
Mhm.
And then 9, and then my son, he's about ready to be 4.
Okay. And who keeps them?
My dad in Washington State, and then CPS.
Okay. So which children or what ages of the children does your father in Washington have?
The 19, the 14, and then the 9.
All right. Oh, and just out of curiosity for me, is he planning on taking the 1 and 4-year-old or no?
No,
So what is going to happen with the 1 and 4?
the 1 and 4-year-old, my cousin Corley's gonna take.
Who?
My cousin Corley's.
All right. Have your parental rights been terminated to the 1 and 4-year-old?
Not yet.
All right. Who's your CPS attorney?
I don't remember his name quite yet. I'll be getting it once I get out.
Well, how long has the CPS case been open?
It's been open for like 6 months, 8 months now.
All right. You have a year to get your act together.
Mhm.
You should know the name of your attorney because that's very important because it's involving your children.
Yes.
So where is your support system? Where is your mom, your other
My
family?
mom, she's in Missouri. She's not out of medical conditions. And then my dad, same thing.
All right.
So,
And who is Dwayne Garcia?
Dwayne Garcia, he's one of my favorite street uncles.
Street uncle.
Yeah,
What does that mean?
I've known him for years.
No, but I mean, if you've known him for years, why is he just not a friend? What does that mean? He's a street uncle.
My family hasn't met him yet. From their medical conditions, it's been hard for them to meet him.
No, but I mean, why is he a street uncle? That's what I don't understand.
He was taking care of me while I was homeless.
How was he taking care of you?
When I would ask for help, he'll give me the help,
Like what type of help?
food, anything.
But I mean, you both were caught with drugs. So he's probably not a good person for you to be around.
No,
Was there anything else going on between you? What
no,
was he expecting in return?
nothing.
Because what I've discovered, normally in the situation that you're in, yes, you may end up meeting great people who are just there to help you. But from looking at what I'm reading in the police report, he's just not helping you out of the kindness of his heart.
No.
So he's not, right?
Mhm.
Is that a yes? He is not helping you out of the kindness of his heart?
No.
All right. So you're going to have to make a decision on how you want your life to be.
Mhm.
And either you're going to stop having children and just do whatever you want to do. But if you're going to continue to have children, then you've got to get your life together, because otherwise your children are being raised by people. You just, here you go.
Yeah,
And now the 1 and 4-year-old, they're not even with their siblings. And how do they feel? They've been left behind and somebody else has them.
yeah, true.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. I'm going to recall the warrant. Sentence you to 3 years deferred adjudication. There's to be a TAP evaluation in custody. Follow recommendations. I'm going to want a referral to Esperanza Court. And that's a program that you really should be in. You understand?
Yes,
And there's to be no contact with your street uncle. And that's Dwayne Garcia. It's DWAYNE. And I'm not going to interfere with your CPS case, but I'm looking at your ancestry and it says American Indian or Native Alaskan.
mhm,
You need to let your attorney know that,
okay,
because that's very important on CPS side.
okay,
There's going to be CPS compliance. 150 hours community service restitution. How far did you go in school?
11,
All right. I'm going to waive 100 hours of those for parenting classes that she completes. The other 50 hours will be waived once she obtains GED or is in some type of trade school. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs, proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Field visits 1 time per month for 6 months. And there's to be restitution, if any, to SAPD for testing. Counsel, if you feel as though they're asking for too much for the testing amount, you can always come back to the court and we'll have a restitution hearing.
Sure.
Right.
I believe it's like $69.
All right. Probation, is there anything else she needs? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
no,
Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendants' Rights to Appeal with your attorney?
yes,
Did you understand it and sign it?
yes,
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
yes, I do.
All right, we can go off the record. You're gonna have to make some decisions quick, fast, in a hurry.
Okay,
And that's gonna have to be whether you want to be in your children's life or not. If you don't, just cut them loose. Because it's heartbreaking for children when they get their hopes built up that their parent is going to end up being a good parent
mhm,
and everything is going fine in CPS. And I can tell you this because I represented parents in CPS before. Everything is going fine. Visitation is going fine. Next thing you know, they end up with their street uncle or they end up with some guy and bring some random guy in their life. And then bam, children don't have them anymore. That's trauma for a child. You understand?
yes, I do.
All right. So in this court, if you get transferred to Esperanza Court, that judge will be over conditions of probation. It's a very good program and it's something that you need. You understand?
Yes, I do.
All right. If you feel as though they're not addressing issues, you can always come back here and see me.
Okay,
you. And counsel, I know it's not your job, but she doesn't know who her CPS attorney is. If you call over to CPS court and take her name, give them her name or the name of her children, they'll be able to tell you who her CPS attorney is.
I'm happy to do it, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank you. You too. Eric Kelly. Court is calling night mag number 738-931, State of Texas versus Eric Kelly. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Daniel Escobar from the state of Texas.
for the defense? And are you Mr. Kelly?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, defense is asking that his conditions of GPS be modified. Any objections to the defense's motion?
Judge, the state would ask he remain on partial, but we understand that it's been a good amount of time since he was let out on bail. The state would also understand if he modified it to track him only.
All right, so with regards to tracking only, is there any no contact orders?
My understanding is yes, Judge, but I need to look into bond condition.
So what has has been on previously?
Judge, he's been on GPS since he released November 28th last year.
All right, was that full GPS?
It was
All right,
a-
so what is he on currently with regards to?
Partial. We had a hearing on March 14th in front of Judge Moore, and he monitored it to partial, or modified it to partial. We had asked for tracking then, but he said, let's see how he does for a while. It's been, I think, 60 days or more. There's been no violations.
All right, state any issues with GPS?
Judge, again, the state would ask for tracking.
All right, then the court is going to grant tracking only, and whatever no contact orders are in place, those are to remain in place. Do you understand? If you violate this, what's going to end up happening is a warrant could be issued for your arrest. You may end up going to jail, or you may end up back on full GPS. Do you understand? Any questions? All right,
Judge, I do have a
Yes.
couple things for the court to know, consider. One, since he's on tracking now, I assume that it'd be okay for him. He had a neighbor who wanted him to help with a 2-week project.
hey, he's just on tracking. The only thing he needs to do is whatever the no contact order is, which I'm assuming, and I don't have access to it.
I haven't pulled up here, Judge.
All right, who is the,
Ryan, and then how they wrote it in was DEKRONE.
wait, Ryan, RYAN,
Defendant.
last name?
DEKRONE.
Okay,
And then not to go near an address, it's.
just 1 second.
Sorry, Judge.
All right, is there anything else?
Nothing.
All right, thank you.
For full transparency, then he will be attending a cousin's funeral in Tyler on Wednesday.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Mr. Behrens,
Yes, sir.
if you would like a copy of this, the clerk will get it for you. Okay. State, are you going to have any witnesses? Okay. Who's here on Padilla? All right, so we'll have to do that after we take up the jury. Anyone else who's ready? Yes,
Want to approach Shannon Anderson?
all right, yes. Shannon Anderson, come down. Yes,
Your Honor, I've conferred with the state. I just received a CD with the phone dump.
okay.
iPhone, but I do need time to review that book for my client.
All right, Ms. Fergus, can I have a 30-day reset for discovery on Shannon Anderson, please? All right, September 19th, once you sign the reset form, you're excused. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Roland Sanchez.
Rich, I think they're checking out to see if he's here.
Okay. And who is the person here in red for? That's Padilla?
Yes.
All right, come up, please. Court is calling 2024 CR 007-175, State of Texas versus Paul Padilla Jr. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state
Andrew Harris Sadelman.
defense?
Cornelius Cox.
And are you Mr. Padilla?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have you received all of the discovery and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Padilla, did you review the document entitled True Bill of Indictment with your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Like to make an oral motion to amend the indictment to change cocaine to methamphetamine and to waive the second enhancement paragraph and proceed as a repeater rather than a habitual.
Any objection?
No objection.
All right. Mr. Padilla, do you understand that the state is asking that the name of the drug be changed to meth as opposed, well, methamphetamine as opposed to cocaine?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that's a substantive change to the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand your attorney would have 10 days to prepare for trial with that change?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you wish to continue with this plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Then the court will grant the state's motion without objection from the defense. Mr. Padilla, did you review the document entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, 4 grams to 200 grams? Normally, that's a second-degree felony. However, if the state is able to prove up paragraph 1 of the enhancement paragraph, then your range of punishment will be anywhere from 5 to 99 years or life in prison. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Padilla, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
Absolutely not.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 10 years in the prison. You to agree that you've been previously convicted of 1 or more felonies for purposes of enhancement. There are no applications. The state is taking in consideration NIGHTMAG number 756633. 756637. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense is at the plea.
Yes, Your Honor.
State is at the plea.
Yes, sir.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are there any such motions? Then to the indictment as presented, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
To the enhancement paragraph, how do you plead? True or not true?
True.
All right, and for the record, that's to paragraph 1 of the enhancement. State, do you have any evidence to support the defendant's plea?
Contained in Exhibit 1 and attachments, Your Honor.
Objection.
All right, state, you may be excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Did you review the document entitled Wavering Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements, police reports, and lab reports? But most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments. The court has reviewed the same. The court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty, and the court will find paragraph 1 in the enhancement true based upon your plea of true and based upon states exhibits 1 and attachments. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, sir.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
We just asked the court to be considering and to accept the plea agreement.
Then the court will follow your agreement. The court will sentence you to 10 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served, taking consideration 7566633. 7566637. Is there anything else with regards to sentencing?
No, Your Honor.
All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Understand.
All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. Your counsel will tell you. I understand that what was used to enhance you was a burglary of a vehicle. Now burglaries of a vehicles are not felonies. I once had a client on parole, was doing a life sentence on a burglary of a vehicle. So here's the thing. How old are you?
I turned 50 this past Wednesday.
Turned 50?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so I can say this because I'm in the same age bracket. We're on the downslide. Like I always tell people I'm in the winter of my life.
Yes, ma'am.
So you got to decide, do you want to spend the rest of your life in the prison or on lockdown? If you don't, you're going to have to make some changes. Otherwise, when you come out, you're going to pick up more cases. You understand?
Yes, ma'am. I just lost my father on Father's Day. I do understand.
All right, so you got to do better.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, go forth. If you don't want to do it for yourself, do it to make your father proud of you.
I will.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, miss. Thank
You're
you very
welcome.
much.
Have a good one.
God bless you.
Oh, thank you. God bless you too.
He said he would have addressed for court in a more presentable way, but that's all they get.
Okay, there you go.
Address it.
All right. Roland Sanchez. All right, after this, we're going to start on the trial. All right, what is happening with Mr. Sanchez?
Since we just had it bench boarded back last week or so from TDC.
Mhm.
It's an unrelated case. And we just got an offer this morning from Mr. Daniel over here.
Okay,
So we are actively, I have Ms. Kern appointed. She's downloading Discovery and we'll be reviewing that as soon as we can.
all right, Ms. Ferguson. Let's recall this in 30 days for discovery. All right, we'll come back on September 19th and I'll note that the state has already tendered an offer.
Yes, sir.
All right, any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right, we'll bring you back on September 19th. All righty. Sure. All right, State, do you have any opening statements?
Yes, briefly, Your Honor.
You may proceed.
Thank you. Y'all have given Elise justice by finding him guilty. But your work isn't done. Now we'll come to the next part. You're going to hear from Elise's mother, Marie. She's going to tell you Elise can't be here to talk today because it's her first day of school. But Marie is going to talk to you about the impact that this has had on Elise from that night and continuing until this day. And not just on her, but on Elise's family. Defense may have a witness or two, and at the end of this, basically, you get to decide what justice looks like to you. And at the end, we will ask that you give Elise the justice she deserves and send him to prison.
All right, defense, any
I will
opening
waive
statements?
opening argument, Judge.
All right, State, call your first witness.
State calls Marie Nellis.
Right, if you can raise your right hand for me, please. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand, have a seat. Please make sure that you keep your voice up so that members of the jury and the court reporter can hear. Right, State.
Thank you. Good afternoon. You want to go ahead, it's okay. You want to go ahead and adjust the microphone, make sure it's nice and close to you. And you just want to make sure you answer me kind of audibly so that the court reporter can take everything down, okay?
Yes,
Can you please state your name and spell your last name for the records?
Marie Nealis, N as in Nancy, Ealis as in Sam.
And how do you know Elise?
I'm her mother.
How old is she currently?
20.
When did you find out that something had happened on the night of March 5th, 2021?
I had the police come to my house, and it was probably between 3 and 3:30 in the morning. And they told me Elise had been found with a 49-year-old man. And I was in shock. I said, that's not possible. She's spending the night at a friend's house. And I called the mother and she didn't answer.
How were you feeling when you received that visit at 3 o'clock in the morning?
I was just in shock.
Were you able to see Elise that night or that morning, really?
Yes, they offered to give me a ride to the Castle Hills Police Station.
And what was her emotional demeanor when you arrived?
I think they had her writing a statement at that time. And she just had a flat affect.
Was that unusual for her?
Yes, I mean, I've never seen her like that before.
In the 3 years since then, have you noticed any behavioral changes with Elise?
I think Elise is not that happy child she once was. She has a lot of anxiety. She struggles with depression. She complains of having insomnia and nightmares.
And was any of that going on before this incident?
I would say she's always been a little bit shy and anxious, but not to this extent.
How did she react in kind of the weeks and months after this assault?
She isolated herself in her room. I would say she was very difficult to talk to. She would be very short with me. Yeah, it was really hard at that time.
How has this affected you and your family and Elise just in general?
I think sometimes it's like I think sometimes it feels like I've lost my daughter. I feel like she doesn't communicate with me the way we used to. And laugh and joke around. I think she's more much more introverted.
Where is Elise today?
Today's her first day of school.
Ms. Nealis, what does justice look like to you in a case like this?
I think in this case, I feel like the maximum punishment for this crime would be the most fitting punishment.
Now, you're aware that he could be given probation, correct?
Yes, I am.
How does the prospect of probation make you feel?
Makes me feel nervous for Elise, worried that he would be out free. She would be worrying. Is he gonna come back? Is he gonna find me? Is he gonna do this again? This nightmare is going to continue. And I think since it's been 3 years, 5 months, and 14 days since this happened, and there's not a day goes by, I don't worry about her.
Thank you, Ms. Nealis. I'm gonna pass the witness.
Ma'am, would you describe your daughter as a normal 16-year-old at the time?
To define normal,
Yeah, a normal run-of-the-mill high school 16-year-old.
can you be more specific?
Okay. You said she was shy.
I think a lot of 16-year-olds probably experience some shyness. at that
Okay.
age.
Average student in school, right?
Correct.
Average student in school.
Yes.
Okay. A lot of times she didn't spend a lot of time at home. A lot of times she would spend out sleeping over neighbors'
Do you
houses. with
object to
friends'
relevance
houses,
for punishment, Your Honor?
Overruled.
right?
I would say at that age, that's what children do.
Okay. So yeah, she'd be out sleeping over this person's house or this person's house and not at home.
Correct.
Did you know your daughter had a fake ID?
I found that out after she was detained.
Did you know your daughter went to bars and drank in bars?
I did not know that.
So you would agree with me that your daughter pretty much was a free spirit and pretty much did what she wanted to do. Was that correct?
I would disagree with that.
Pardon?
I would disagree with that.
You would disagree, okay. But she had a fake ID, she went to bars, she drank. I'm sure as a parent, you didn't approve of that.
I was not aware of that. So no.
And I'm sure that, so didn't you question where your daughter was at times?
I'm gonna object again to relevance to punishment, Your Honor.
Overruled.
I
When she-
had a tracker for Elise, so a lot of times I would see where she was.
Did you ever notice your daughter coming home with alcohol on their breath?
No, I did not.
I'll pass the witness.
State.
No further questions, Your Honor.
All right, is this witness excused?
Yes, from the state judge.
All right, you may step down. You're welcome. State, call your next witness. Deputy Laura.
State offers all evidence.
All right, could you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, you can lower your hand, and if you'll state your name for the record.
It's Robert Behrens.
Defense.
Mr. Barrett, can you tell us a little bit about what you do for a living?
I'm an attorney. I've been licensed since November 1994. Between 2014 and 2018, I was a judge in a county court here in Bear County.
And what is your main practice in?
Criminal defense.
And you've been doing that since 1994?
Actually, I was doing it before that. I had a third-year bar card with it. Is this working? Oh, I had a third-year bar card that allowed me to practice under the supervision of assistant DAs. So while I was in my third year of law school, I was trying cases. So really 31 years.
In your 30+ years of practice, have you had the occasion to deal with cases involving sex offenders?
Many.
Okay. And in the nature of these cases, were they both trials and probation violations?
Yes,
And are you familiar then with the conditions that they place on a probationary who has been convicted and placed on probation for a sex offense?
I am.
All right. What, if anything, is the first condition they require?
Sex offender registration.
And what is sex offender registration?
Depending on the type of offense the person is convicted of, they will have to register either for 10 years or the rest of their life as a sex offender in the county in which they live. If they go to any, if they're traveling to any other county for more than 7 days, they have to report to local law enforcement to alert them of their presence in their county.
Okay. And do they have a special driver's license that shows they're a sex offender?
They do.
And are they required to register each year or sometimes even more times during the year? Is that
Yes,
correct?
they're required to register at least annually.
All right. Now, let me ask you about conditions of where they can reside. Can they reside anywhere they want to reside?
No, there are restrictions. They can't reside within 1,000 feet of a school or any place where children are known to gather.
What about conditions of probation? Are they required to take treatment?
They are, there's several forms of treatment. They have to take intensive group therapy classes, intensive individual therapy sessions. They're required to recapitulate their guilt and what exactly they did repeatedly. They're sometimes subject to what's called a plethysmograph.
Okay.
Plethysmograph.
Okay. And are the restrictions around being around people under the age of 17?
Yes, they're not allowed to be around children under 17, particularly not without a chaperone.
And if somebody was convicted sex offender and had grandchildren or children or had grandchildren, that would prohibit them from being around their grandchildren?
I've seen that happen, yes.
And are there restrictions on the use of computers?
There are. A lot of times you can't use the internet at all, or if you do, it will be subject to a app being placed on your device, whether it be a phone or a computer, that will not allow you to access sexually oriented websites.
Okay. And what about polygraphs, if anything?
Polygraphs are also a part of the individual counseling and treatment.
And would you consider it an intense supervision program?
It is intense as compared to supervision for other kinds of offenses that are non-sexual in nature. Oftentimes they have to report more frequently than other offenders. Most offenders report once a month. Sexual offenders often report once a week.
Thank you, Mr. Brenner. No more questions past the witness.
No
State.
questions, Your Honor.
All right, it's this witness excused.
He is, Your Honor.
All right, you may step in. All right, defense, call your next witness.
I need to call Mr. Curtis Martin. I think he's in the hall.
All right. Can someone make an announcement for Mr. Martin? He's in the hallway. Thank you. All right, Mr. Martin, if you'll take a seat here, please.
Where?
Here.
Okay.
Yeah. Could you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
All right, you can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record.
Curtis Martin.
Defense.
Mr. Martin, can you tell the jury a little bit about what you do?
I am a community liaison with Lifetime Recovery. Here we are a treatment center for drugs and alcohol. We work primarily with the judicial system and Bear County Jail to get the low offenders, with no violence into treatment and change their lives. And I'm also very active in AA myself and in the recovery community in San Antonio.
Do you have an occasion to know Jose de Bosque?
Yes, I do. I've known him for a little over 3 years. And we go to multiple meetings together on a weekly basis. We've done tons of service work. We've put on picnics.
Okay, what kind of service work? Can you be more specific?
Yes, I can. We have functions. We have a recovery club here in town called Club 12. And we have speaker meetings. We have anniversaries. We have just all kind of stuff to get for the recovery community and the families, and to bring in newcomers that want to know more about it. We put on picnics. We have annual conventions that he is involved in at multiple levels. We put on golf tournaments, all to raise money for the community.
And Mr. de Bosque is active in these organizations?
Absolutely, absolutely. And he is loved and cherished by so many and depended on by a lot of people in our community.
3.5 years ago, when you met Mr. de Bosque, what was the issue? Was he having a addiction problem, or is he having issues?
Yes, yeah. That's why he came, because he was because of an alcohol problem, and so we welcomed him into our groups, and then he started connecting with people, and then we put him to work. That's what we do. We put him to work, and that's how we stay sober, and we help the community at large. We flip from being a taker to a giver, and it's been just amazing to watch that with Jose as well, and be a part of it.
Thank you, sir. No further questions.
State.
Just one, are you aware that he confesses and has been convicted for sexually assaulting a 16-year-old?
I am aware of that. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, pass the
And-
witness.
Nothing further questions.
Thanks.
All right, is this witness excused?
Yes.
All right, you may step down. All right,
Put you. Oh, Butch, okay. Yeah.
all right, defense.
Yes, Eric Quezado, please.
Could someone make the announcement for Eric? You said Rosado?
Quezado.
Rosado.
Casada.
Casada, sorry.
I didn't do too good in high school Spanish.
All right, if you'll take a seat here, sir. Here. All right, if you could raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Absolutely.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name, have a seat. All right, and state your name for the record, please.
Eric Casada.
All right, defense.
Mr. Casada, what do you do for a living?
I work for a financial organization, workforce management for Capital Group.
Do you have any?
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. I work for a Capital Group.
Do you have an occasion to know Jose de Bosque?
Do I what?
occasion to know Jose de Bosco?
How do I know him?
Yes.
I've known Jose for about 3.5 years, and I've had the pleasure and honor to be his sponsor in the recovery program
Being a sponsor for what?
for AA recovery, alcoholism.
So is he an active member in AA?
Absolutely.
All right, can you tell the jury about what you all do with AA?
Sure. So in AA, we work a 12 step program. We come to meetings, we work the steps through the guidance of a sponsor, for example. And those of us who have been in recovery have the honor to be sponsors to help others in the process. And so we call it a recovery program. And so we work the steps in order, and we find a solution to this disease of alcoholism through working this process.
So basically, if somebody feels they're having issues with alcohol and is an alcoholic, they come to your organization for help.
Absolutely. Yes.
And the help they receive, could you be a little more, there's meetings. How often are the meetings held?
So the meetings happen all the time. Well, in San Antonio, for example, we probably have about 400 and plus meetings that happen a week, both in English and Spanish. My own personal experience is this for me, coming into the program, I went to as many meetings as it took to adapt, to learn, and to work my program and find a sponsor to work the solution. Yeah.
Has Mr. De Bosco been an active member in taking part of these meetings
Absolutely.
on a regular
Yeah.
basis?
Jose, from the very beginning, he came to the meetings. I met him through one of the meetings, and through coming to the meetings, he asked me to be his sponsor, and has been consistently coming to the meetings since then.
And you do know why he's in court today, right?
Yes,
And he's been more than open about the incident that happened.
absolutely.
And do you recall whether or not alcohol may have been a factor in that?
Yes,
And that's one of the reasons he's getting help, right?
exactly.
Pass the witness.
State.
No questions.
All right, is this witness excused?
He is.
All right, you may step down.
Thank you so much. Quesada, Quesada. Thank you.
All right, defense, call your next witness.
Bruce Hill.
All right, could you make the announcement for Mr. Hill?
Oh, you're, yeah, I don't want that. Have a good one. Thanks, yeah, Bob. See you.
Mr. Hill in the hallway.
All right.
Bruce Woods, I'm sorry.
All right, sorry.
Bruce Woods.
All right, thank you.
All the way, okay.
All right, can you raise your right hand for me?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record.
Okay. My name is Garland, Garland, Christopher Woods, but I'm also known as Butch Woods.
All right, defense?
Mr. Woods, do you have an occasion to know Jose de Bosco?
Yes, I do, sir.
And how do you know Mr. de Bosco?
I know him from about 3.5 years ago. I've been a sober member of Alcoholics Anonymous for 36 years. I'm in my 37th year. And I was giving a big book study of Alcoholics Anonymous. And he joined our class. And then 3, 4, 5 months later, we started a new meeting. which is a Catholic Society, which is Catholics who are in recovery. And he was one of our first members and has been coming every Saturday ever since.
Do you notice a change in him during this 3.5 year period?
Yes, sir.
What, if anything, did you notice?
Serenity, being serene, and being very, very helpful. He helps us. He's the man that gets all the food for us and refreshments and stuff like this. Very, very much into service work for AA.
Thank you, sir. Pass the witness.
State.
Questions?
All right, is this witness excused?
You may.
All right, you may step down. Defense, call your next witness.
Jose de Bosque.
All right, you're still under oath, but if you'll restate your name for the record, please.
Jose del Bosque.
All right, defense.
Mr. de Bosque, 3.5, 4 years ago, you had some demons, did you not?
I guess you want to call it like that, yes, sir.
Okay. What was going on in your life during that time period?
At that time, it was the end of 2020. My grandfather had passed away. I was during the COVID, and he was in Mexico, and I couldn't go to his funeral. Then, the beginning of the year 2021, my aunt passed away. 4 weeks later, January 29, my mom passed. So life was taking a toll on me. And I didn't see it that I was drinking more than normal. I didn't know how to handle. I didn't know what to do.
Subsequently, you moved on and have been a member of AA and a couple of other organizations. How has that helped you?
It's helping me a lot. It's the fact that I can help somebody else. I don't know, you had an opportunity to go to those meetings. On those meetings, you can see families get reunited. On those meetings, you can hear the stories of people finding a job, finding a purpose. On those meetings, you're able to help someone that needs a hand, that needs support, that needs love. It's not just about the disease of alcoholism. It's the fact that I can put myself in somebody else's shoes. It means a lot for me.
And you accept full responsibility for your actions in March of 2021, do you not?
Yes, sir.
Pass the witness.
State.
So you had been drinking more and you're kind of saying that led you to make some poor decisions. Is that the gist of it?
I was not fully conscious, ma'am.
Okay, but you were texting Elise for weeks leading up to this. This wasn't one bad decision. This was weeks of decisions that led up to March 5th, correct?
That should have never happened, ma'am.
Okay, so if I go and I print some more texts out, they were gonna be fake?
What do you mean?
You texted her for weeks leading up to the incident.
I should have never been in communication with it. It's a law.
Okay, you shouldn't. You both agree with that. Okay, so speaking of putting yourself in someone else's shoes, you have two daughters, correct?
That's correct, ma'am.
Okay, so put yourself in Elisa's father's shoes or in your own shoes, and this happened to your daughter. Should that person get probation or should they go to prison after they brutally raped their 16-year-old child? What would you want for your daughters?
I know that this situation has affected a lot of people. Not only Elise, not only me, not only her family, not only my family. It has affected a lot of people. You guys are the ones that enforce the justice. That I'm being responsible. I'm here to confront the situation.
Okay, but what I was asking you was if you were in her father's shoes and one of your daughters had been raped, would you want them to go to prison or would you want them to be given probation?
I will give and take the opportunity to find out what was the parts of my daughters.
Doesn't answer my question, but I'll pass the witness.
No further questions.
All right, you may step down. Defense, call your next witness.
Fence rest, Your Honor.
State,
Rest and close.
defense, do
Fence
you close?
Your Honor.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna have you all step back and I'm gonna bring you all back at 3:30, and then both sides will have a chance to present to you their closing arguments. All right, everyone, please rise for the jurors. Have both parties had a chance to review the charge of the court on punishment?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, any objections to the charge, state?
We just need to remove the part about the defendant not testifying, Your Honor.
Okay. Any other objections?
No further objections, Judge.
All right, then how much time are you all asking for closing? 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Minutes is fine, I
That's fine,
believe.
Judge.
All right, does anyone need a time announcement?
2 minutes.
Okay.
Yep, that'll work for me too, Judge.
All right, well, I'll give you all a chance to set up. I've given the jury till 3:30.
Alrighty.
And Maria, if you need to take a break. All right, everyone, please be seated. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to read to you what's entitled Charge of the Court on Punishment. You don't have to memorize it. You will have this back with you when I send you to begin your deliberations. Charge of the Court on Punishment. Members of the jury, by your verdicts returned in this case, you have found the defendant, Jose Del Bosque, guilty of the offenses of aggravated sexual assault of child in counts 1 and 4 of the indictment, and guilty of the lesser included offenses of sexual assault of a child in counts 2 and 4. It is necessary for the jury to assess the punishment for these offenses. You are instructed that the punishment for aggravated sexual assault of a child is confinement in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice Institutional Division for life or for any term of not more than 99 years or less than 5 years. Therefore, you will assess the punishment of the defendant at life or any term of not more than 99 years or less than 5 years in counts 1 and 5. You are instructed that the punishment for sexual assault of a child is confinement in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice Institutional Division for a term of not more than 20 years or less than 2 years. Therefore, you will assess the punishment of the defendant at any term of not more than 20 years or less than 2 years in counts 2 and 4. In addition to imprisonment, an individual found guilty of these offenses may be punished by a fine not to exceed $10,000 in each count. And if you choose to assess a fine in addition to imprisonment, you will assess such fine and so state in your verdict in each count. If you assess a fine, it is not paid to the victim or victims, if any, but is paid into the registry of the court. When there are separate punishments on multiple counts, whether those sentences run concurrently or consecutively, that is, at the same time or one after another, it is a decision to be made by the court. The defendant has filed an application in writing under oath stating that he has never before been convicted of a felony and has requested that the imposition of any sentence imposed be suspended and that he be placed on community supervision. Community supervision means the placement of a defendant by a court under a continuum of programs and sanctions with conditions imposed by the court for a specified period during which a sentence of imprisonment or confinement, imprisonment and fine, or confinement and fine is probated and the imposition of sentence is suspended in whole or in part. Our statutes provide that where a defendant is found guilty of the offense of aggravated sexual assault of a child as charged in the indictment in this case, and the victim of the offense was not younger than 14 years of age at the time the offense was committed, and the jury assesses the punishment at not more than 10 years, and they further find that the defendant has never been convicted of a felony in this or any other state, the jury may, within its discretion, recommend community supervision. Whether you do or do not recommend community supervision for the defendant is a matter that rests within the sound discretion of the jury. If the jury does recommend community supervision, it will be granted by the court. If you recommend that the defendant be placed upon community supervision, the court shall determine all the conditions of community supervision and may at any time during the period of community supervision alter or modify the conditions. The court may impose any reasonable condition. You may not recommend that part of the period of confinement be served by incarceration and part by community supervision. Should the punishment assessed by you include a fine, a recommendation of community supervision should state whether or not the fine will be paid or be suspended and probated. If there is any evidence before you that the defendant may have previously committed an act of misconduct other than that for which you have convicted him, you are instructed that this evidence, if any, was admitted to assist you, if it does, in determining what sentence is appropriate in the case at hand. You may consider that evidence as assessing punishment only if you first believe, beyond a reasonable doubt, that the defendant committed such other act of misconduct, if any. In the event you have a reasonable doubt as to whether any other such act of misconduct was committed, or as to whether the defendant was involved in such other act of misconduct, then you will wholly disregard the evidence, if any, which may relate to any such matter. In your deliberations, You may consider evidence introduced during the guilt phase of the trial, as well as any evidence introduced at the punishment phase of the trial. Under the instructions herein given, it will not be proper for you in determining the penalty to be assessed to fix the same by lot, chance, any system of averages, or any other method than by a full, fair, and free exercise of the opinion of the individual jurors under the evidence admitted before you. The length of time for which a defendant is in prison may be reduced by the award of parole. Under the law applicable in this case, if the defendant is sentenced to a term of imprisonment, the defendant will not become eligible for parole until the actual time served equals 1/2 of the sentence imposed, or 30 years, whichever is less. Eligibility for parole does not guarantee that parole will be granted. It cannot be accurately predicted how the parole law might be applied to this defendant if sentenced to a term of imprisonment, because the application of that law will depend on decisions made by parole authorities. You may consider the existence of the parole law. You are not to consider the manner in which the parole law may be applied to this particular defendant. Suitable forms are attached hereto for your verdicts, if you should care to use the same. However, such forms are not intended to influence you in any way in arriving at your verdicts. In any event, each verdict must be unanimous, in writing, and signed by your presiding juror. Respectfully submitted, Judge Stephanie Boyd, 187 District Court, Bexar County, Texas. State, are you prepared to proceed?
State reserves.
All right, defense, you may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. Good afternoon, folks. Been a long week. I want to thank you for your time served as jurors. And now comes the hard part. Determining what we shall do with Jose de Bosque. This case is one that had a lot of turns and twists. We have a 16-year-old girl who, for the most part, was a wild child. I think you can tell that there was no parental supervision of her. She got to do what she wanted to do because she just did it. All right. Mr. Del Bosque, he made a mistake. He made a big mistake. Is it the type of mistake that can be rehabilitated? You've heard testimony from a number of people from AA and stuff, how he's actively engaged in AA and lifestyle, mentoring people, trying to help people out. He realized he made a mistake. During that time period, he had the demons, the demon of alcohol. You heard him testify about the deaths in his family during COVID. Y'all remember COVID. People died. People were in hospitals. Family couldn't see him. Family couldn't go to funerals. It was a very trying time. You heard him testify that 3 family members in his family died within a period of 6 months during the COVID epidemic. Yeah, he was drinking. Yeah, he made mistakes. But I think he's a good man. I think he realizes what he did was wrong, and he's accepted the consequences of his action. I think that's why he's reaching out to help people, to be a mentor for people. You heard the testimony of how he partakes in the picnics and the functions to help people and families who are dealing with addiction, to bring them closer together. Because he realized this is what addiction causes you to do. It causes you to make mistakes. So, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we come to the time where it is time to make a decision on what we shall do with Mr. Del Bosque. We are asking you to consider and to grant him probation, community supervision. Now, probation, community supervision isn't going to be a walk in the park for him. It's not a slap on the wrist. You've heard the testimony of a 31-year-old former criminal defense attorney who deals with this every day. You will have to do lifetime registration as a sex offender. He will have to live in an area that is not within 1,000 feet of any place where children can congregate, schools, playgrounds, to that effect. He will have to report to probation on a regular schedule. He will have to register as a sex offender and have a driver's license that says he's a registered sex offender. He will be prohibited from being around his grandchildren. You heard him testify that his daughter is pregnant. If you grant him probation, he will not be around that child. That is, I think, tremendous punishment. So we would ask that you consider a sentence of less than 10 years on all counts that you found him guilty on. I would ask that for the count 1 and 4, I think, that it'd be, the maximum is 5. I'd ask that you sentence him to 5 years. On the other ones, I'd ask that you sentence him to 2 years. But then I would ask that you consider and grant him community supervision to come back and look at the facts of the case and look at what happened and look at the testimony and say, you know what? This isn't the type of case where somebody is a sexual predator. I don't think that's here. I think it is somebody that got caught up, a wild child who, for all practical purposes, was holding herself out as an older person. And then I think he made a wrong decision. But for the fact that she's 16, would it have been consensual if she would have been older? I don't know what was going through y'all's mind. But the evidence did show she hooked up with him. So I would ask you once again then to go back to the deliberation room and grant Mr. DeBosque probation community service on all counts that you found him guilty on. Once again, it's not going to be a walk in the park for him. It's going to be a tough life. He's going to have to sit and take therapy and counseling through the entire probation period, which could be up to 10 years. It's up to the judge. So for 10 years of his life, he's going to have to sit there and say, basically, I'm going to have to take polygraphs every year. I can't be on a computer. I've got to report to probation. I've got to take drug tests, which I'm not concerned about because of his AA things. I think he's clean as a whistle now. I've got to go to sex offender therapy programs and get treatment. I've got to stand up in front of other people and say, yes, I did this and this is why I did it. And I take responsibility for it. And I think he's done that. He has taken responsibility for his actions. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, I ask that you grant him probation on all accounts. Thank you much.
What state?
Once again, it's all about blaming Elise for the actions of a man 3 times her age and twice her size. And once again, just like in his interview with Detective Bigler, he's begging you guys for sympathy. It's the alcohol, because if he's not blaming Elise, he's blaming the alcohol. When is he going to take actual responsibility for his actions and not blame someone else? It's time to hold him accountable. How do we do that? So like Judge talked, I'm just going to kind of briefly go over again. For counts 1 and 5, the punishment range is 5 to life, up to a $10,000 fine. And since he's never been convicted of a felony, if you guys sentence him to 10 years or less, you don't have to give him probation. You can ask yourself, should we give him probation? And it's the exact same thing for counts 2 and 4, except that is 2 to 20 years. So how do you sentence? First, you need to assess a time for each charge. Even if somebody's thinking, hey, probation, you still have to assess a charge, and it's gonna be on these sheets. You do the time, then you do whether or not there's a fine. The fine is completely optional. I just want to remind you guys that it doesn't go to Elise, it doesn't go to the victims, it just goes to the court, and nobody knows where it goes, okay? It's not a big thing. And then if it's 10 years or under, you decide on whether it's probation or not. And as it says in here, also, the judge is the one who's going to decide if your sentences are going to run together, if they're going to be concurrent, or if they're going to be consecutive, meaning they get stacked. Judge decides that, you guys don't. So prison is the only option here. Punishment range for counts 1 and 5, there are big ones. So that's where I want to start with. I would say for counts 2 and 4, you hit the 20. It's the max. But for counts 1 and 5, I would start at 30. And then I would look at all of the evidence in the case. I would look at the effect that it's had on Elise, the facts of the case, the effect on her family's lives. So keeping in mind that even though he's now blaming alcohol, because once again, it's never Jose's fault, he was sober enough to text Elise and to make that choice to get her cell phone number and start engaging with her. He was sober enough to wait until Trisha was out of town to arrange to go to dinner with Olivia and Elise. He was sober enough to go buy them alcohol, get them ready for that party. And then he is the one who hounded her to go and hang out. He was also sober enough to realize, hey, you should come meet me at this convenience store so I'm not seen by anybody with you. It's not alcohol, folks. He's a predator. And we know he's a predator because that man, twice her size and 3 times her age, raped her. And he did it forcefully, and we know that from the saying. He did it anally, did it vaginally, and he left injuries, and he has left emotional scars. You can take all of that into consideration. You can also take into consideration the impact it's had on Elise and her family. The trauma and the pain and how that girl has shut down, has become a flat affect, isn't as happy-go-lucky. And as Marie said, she felt like she lost her daughter. And this is a step in giving her her daughter back. Most importantly, this is the only time that y'all can not only send a message to the community about what kinds of people you want throwing golf tournaments and picnics out in the community, but send messages to victims like Elise, victims like your daughters and your sisters, and most importantly, to send victims or to send a message to offenders to finally tell Jose, hey, none of your crap. What you did was wrong. We know it, you know it, and now it's time to pay for it. Send him to prison.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to be taken back to the jury room to begin your deliberations. Again, the 2 alternates will be placed in the separate room. All right, everyone, please rise for the jurors.